Assalamu alaikum viewers, I am Azra Alam with GTV Digital Special Program. Today we will talk about Palestine where the conflict is increasing day by day. Despite more than 12,000 people killed, ceasefire couldn't take place. It's my honor to have Mr. Nader Alturk with me to discuss the Palestine issue. Assalamu alaikum sir, how are you?
Alaikum assalam, how are you, sister?
I'm fine, thank you so much. First of all, let me know that what is the role of United Nations and is the United Nations playing its role?
First, thanks a lot for giving me the opportunity to speak to my brother and sister, Pakistani people and the humanity through the Honorable channel. When we speak about United Nations, let's start from the beginning. The problem of Palestine start was dividing Palestine, land of Palestine in 1947 by United Nations Resolution 181, was giving the Zionists 56% of Palestinian land, even without asking them about their opinion, about their request, about their hope of the future.
Yep. And
they're giving for the real owner of the land 43%. We're keeping 1%, which is the holy places, Jerusalem and Bethlehem, to become international. But later on, the Israelis occupied not only 56% of the Palestinian territories, Palestinian homeland, they occupied 78% in 1948.
Okay.
So we have from the United Nations more than 800 resolutions. We have from United Nations more than 85 resolutions from the Security Council of United Nations, and none of it appear on the ground. The only thing was appear creating the Israeli state on the Palestinian homeland. This is the only one is appear on the ground, nothing else. We have one of the most important resolution was 194 in 1948 after the war is created against Arabs and Palestinians to occupy more and more territories of Palestinian territory after they established their state from nothing. That resolution giving the right of return for the Palestinian refugees, which become right now more than 7 million. That time was more than 950,000.
Right.
Until now, they didn't have the right of return to their own homes and territories, which was forced to be transferred from it by the Israelis' power, illegal power.
Exactly.
So when you speak about United Nations, we have a very long history with United Nations. We have a very long suffering of the resolution of United Nations. But even when we accept to have two-state solution and accept to only have 22% of our homeland, historical homeland, which we are living there since more than 12,000 years until now, even then, the United Nations resolution didn't work on because the Israelis deal that they are superpower country above all the laws, above all the international law, above all the humanitarian laws, above all the human rights principles, supporting by the Americans, Western countries, the American not only by weapons and arms, even by their own veto in the United Nations Security Council, to be sure that whatever they do, they're going to be survive, going to be very strong and full supported by them to do whatever they want without feel guilty, or anyone sends them to the international court for their crimes against the humanity or war crimes. This is what we are speak about United Nations.
That's so sad. What Palestinians want? Do they want a two-state solution or do they support an independent Palestine?
Israelis, since we are involved, since just to be more specific, since 1991, we are involved in peace process with Israelis, with the support of the Western countries, Arab countries. We was hope that time that we're going to have our own independent state with borders before 5th of June 1967. We was optimistic. very clear, and we think that after Oslo we will reach what we are deserve, to have our own independent home with Jerusalem as its capital.
Right.
What happened later on? The Israelis' leadership, Ishaq Shamir, he was the prime minister during Madrid International Conference. He mentioned in official statement that he going to negotiate with the Palestinians for 20 years without giving them anything. We are in peace process since more than 32 years, and we get nothing.
Exactly.
So, when we speak about two-state solution, it is acceptable for our leadership, acceptable for many of Arab Ummah, Arab countries, Arab and Muslim Ummah, according to Arabs' plans for peace, which was issued in 2002 and become later on the peace plan for all Muslim Ummah in a meeting, I think, in 2007 in Islamabad. But the Israelis was using that time not to build peace. They was using time to stole more Palestinian territories, build more settlements, killed more Palestinians,
Always.
cut more olive trees, and destroy more and more houses, destroy more and more lands, make more crimes on the ground, break more rules, international rules. So they was using the time for build war, not building peace.
Exactly.
Which is extremely and completely different of the Palestinian position. We was cooperate for peace, there was working to make more and more crimes and wars on the ground. So we're still optimistic that maybe one day soon we have the opportunity to have two-state solution, but the Israelis until now they are not working on that. They are looking for transfer Palestinians for their own territories. Start with Gaza. Right now they are speaking that if every European country accept more than 10,000 Palestinians from Gaza Strip, then the humanitarian issue of the Palestinians who are living in Gaza going to be end.
Okay.
So the crisis is going to be ended this way, by transfer people out their own homes to become refugees for the second time in life since 1948 until now. This is the Israeli solution, because Israel was built on a very main lie and fake things that Palestine is a land without people for a people without land.
Exactly.
So they try to do that. If the Israelis succeed in what they are planning to do right now in Gaza, actually they are going to do the same in West Bank to make it empty of Palestinians, to be replaced by Israelis, by Zionists. And if they are succeed in that, the step going to be getting a great state of Israel, which is the border of it. By the way, Israelis until now don't have constitutional law, don't have borders.
Yes.
Because they believe that their borders are from the river of Nile River in Egypt, to Furat River in Iraq.
Yes.
Which means they're going to occupy it, if they are succeed, to damage Palestinian, transfer all the Palestinians out their own homeland. They're going to build their own great state on the land from between Nile River and Furat River.
Yes.
Which means going to occupy it, whole of Lebanon, whole of Jordan, 40% of Syria, 40% of Egypt, 40% of Saudi Arabia.
Exactly.
And I don't know, maybe they are looking for more and getting more from Turkish, because Furat start from Turkish areas. So this is the Israelis' plans. So we still have the same plan of peace, stability for all the people in the region, but the Israelis' leadership, especially this leadership, it is very radicalism one, and one of the most and criminal leadership ever was in Israel. They are having other agenda to damage everything and rebuild themselves over again on all the territories around them to become bigger and greater by war, not by peace.
Exactly. In the recent conflict, we see that Gaza has turned into ruins. The people of the whole world is standing with Palestine. But why are the governments silent spectators?
You know, silence, it is not, we are not only suffering of silence, we're also suffering from double standards.
Exactly, double standards.
So, silence and double standards are supporting Israelis in their crimes against humanity and their war crimes. As example, if what happened right now against Gaza happened against the Ukrainian people in Europe, it's going to be acceptable for Americans, British, German, and French.
Yes.
This is the question for all of them.
Exactly.
Second thing, when I speak about double standard, how become we speak about democracy? They are proud as a Western countries about their democracy. How become the people of their own people on the street protest in favor of Palestine?
Exactly.
When their governments, their leaders are stand up with the criminal regime, apartheid regime in Israel.
Exactly.
So how they can face their own people when he is representing the position of foreign country and not representing the position of his own people.
Exactly.
This is a democracy what they are trying to market in our region and to become part of our culture? Yes. So this is a question for all of them. Other things, when I speak about silence, you are watching the international media, Western media.
Exactly.
When they are speak about Israelis, they are speak about self-defense.
Yes.
When they are speak about Palestinian struggle for peace and independence, they are become attitude or act of terror.
Yes.
And this actually is against the international law itself, because the international law gives the Palestinians, as people under occupation, the right to defend themselves and all the power they have between their hands. On the other hand, the Israelis, as the power of occupation, don't have any right to use any power against the Palestinian. Exactly. Because they are people under occupation. And this was very clear by a strong statement by our friends in China and Russia when they are mentioned that in the Security Council of United Nations, and they explain that the Israelis don't have the right to use power. Exactly. This power of defense, it is only for the Palestinian, not for the Israelis. This is again double standards.
Yes. And
when we like to go deeper and deeper about that issue, let's see what the Americans do after what happened on the 7th of October. Yeah. Mr. Blinken came to them, to the Israelis, and he mentioned in public, I didn't come to you as a foreign minister, I came to you as a Jew. The question for Mr. Blinken, who actually targeting Jew? Jew, since long history in our region, was feeling safe, and humans in Palestine, Egypt, all the countries in all region, in our Muslim countries, more than they was feeling safe in Europe itself.
Exactly.
Because they are run away from Europe, from apartheid, from Holocaust against them, created by the Europeans and Western countries against them. They run for a safe place to Palestine and for Muslim countries. Yes. And Arab countries. Which means you are giving wrong message for the wrong people. Second, Mr. Biden came to Israelis and to show his solidarity and support for Israelis, and he said, I came to you as an old Zionist.
Okay.
So, The question for, I don't know what is the constitutional law of the United States of America said about that. When the president of United States of America present himself as a Zionist, not like a United States, the president of the United States of America.
Exactly.
The Americans send their airplanes carriers, two of it, the biggest ones, to Israelis to support Israelis and defend it. I don't know if the power of the Palestinians people, which are using a very weak weapons, need this kind of support, this kind of power by the Americans, and not only that, the open air bridge between United States of America and Israelis to give them whole weapons, bombs that are needed to kill more and more Palestinian children and women. Because Israelis need to rebuild their image as a superpower country in the region by the flesh, which was damaged in October, maybe once forever. Right now we see in Gaza more than 50% of homes, buildings damaged, destroyed completely. More than 1.5 million Palestinians are homeless.
Exactly.
All the infrastructure are destroyed. All the hospitals out of service, and they attack more than 4 or 5 hospitals by airplanes and tanks. Today, they are going in occupied the Shifa hospital in Gaza city. And all of this action, actually, it is against the international law, against the international humanitarian law. With that, the Americans still say, we understand the Israelis' needs for defense themselves. I don't know, killing more than 12,000 Palestinian civilians, most of about 70% of them children and women. It is self-defense. Injured 27,000 Palestinians, most of 70% of them children and women. It is self-defense. Is that self-defense? So what is the crime of war crimes, and what is the crimes against humanity?
Exactly.
Okay, this is what we are meaning about the silence, about double standards which you are facing since 1948 until now.
Let me know that why has the international community failed to establish ceasefire in Gaza yet?
Israelis was very clear in that. They have the courage to mention what they want, and the Western countries just follow them, but without having the courage to explain why. Because the Israelis mentioned from day one that if we are accepting ceasefire, that means we are lost the war, lost the battle against the Palestinians, and that means that we are coming to occupy and destroy Gaza for it we didn't reach. So according to that, they refuse to end their crimes against humanity, their war crimes against Palestinian people, before they damage completely Gaza. This was they are planning to, and they transfer all people of Gaza outside of Gaza. This is what they are planning to. In the start of the war, was a speech that the Israel is going to use non-nuclear weapons against Gaza when it is transfer all the people out of it. Right now, the Israelis start speak about build seaport to become in Gaza Strip, whole Gaza Strip, to be used by them as Israeli seaport.
Exactly.
Other people start speaking about rebuild the settlements which were withdrawn in 2005. Okay, so this is what the Israelis have the courage to say about it, but the Western countries blindly support the Israelis in their needs, their goals, without having the courage to explain why. Only have one huge headline: Israel have the right to defend itself.
Now, what do you think, what's the solution now? And what will be the role of Pakistan and Islamic countries as well?
We have a great Muslim Ummah. They are having a good statement when they have the summit for Arab countries and Muslim countries in Saudi Arabia a few days before. And they mention a road line, but if we are compare the support of Muslim Ummah with the Western countries to Muslim Ummah to Palestinian people, we compare this support with what the Israelis support getting from the Western countries, especially United States of America, British, German, French. Is it equal?
No.
This is the question. Second things, as long as we don't use our resources, our power, when I speak about power, I don't speak about military power. I speak about diplomacy, political relations, to use all these resources in wisely and strongly way to put the Americans, Western countries under pressure, include the Israelis too, to end this madness, end these crimes against humanity, end this genocide, ethnic cleansing against the Palestinian people by Western countries' whoopings, especially Americans' whoopings, and the supply of this whoopings to Israelis. Because if you are really strongly supporting ceasefire and you are not having the power to insist Israelis to follow, at least, and you whooping supply to them, then they have nothing to send it, to launch it against Gaza people, to kill them, then they are going to have ceasefire because they don't have fire to use against the Palestinian.
Exactly.
So this is what is needed to be done by Muslim Ummah. Later on, we can speak about end of occupation, Israel's occupation to Palestinian territories, establishing of independent Palestinian state with Jerusalem as its capital, and have the right of return, facilitate the right of return of Palestinians, refugees, which are waiting this right to be a bear on the ground since 1948 until now. They are waiting long enough. Their suffering, their misery need to be ended now before tomorrow.
I saw a video of a Palestinian child saying that all the Muslim countries and Muslims are sleeping, but we are awake. So we hope and pray that one day, inshallah, Palestine will be free, and we will continue to raise our voices for Palestine. And thank you so much, sir, for your time.
Thanks a lot, sister, for again, and you are welcome to visit us.
It's an honor for me.
And for Muslim Ummah, one day soon, inshallah, our Pakistani brother and sister, all Muslim Ummah countries, going to have the opportunity to pray together in Qibla Awwal,
inshallah,
in Aqsa Masjid.
Inshallah.
And we, for our brother and sister, Christians, people, they will have the opportunity to pray together with us,
yes,
with my brother and sister Christian people, in the most holy churches in the world, where is Jesus, alayhi salam, born and live,
exactly,
and carried to the sky. So keep in mind for all humans, brothers and sisters, that we are brother and sister in humanity, because we are son and daughters, grandson and daughters of Adam and Eve.
yes.
And if you are following, you are looking for religion differences as whatever the religion, as a humans, religion,
yes,
it doesn't matter. Religion, color, language, ethnic group, nationality isn't matter, because in the end, all of us are brothers and sisters in humanity.
Exactly.
So we hope to raise a humanity, and one day soon, I'm sure,
inshallah,
this flag not going to be only flag for Palestine. There's going to be flag for humanity, for freedom fighters, for human rights defenders,
exactly,
and for everyone's struggle for the right of living and right of honor. this is going to be flag for humanity, not only
Inshallah.
flag for human, for Palestinians. Thank you very much for your
Thank you
time
so much.
and all the best.
Thank you so much.